Happy New Year! Oh,
Happy New Year! I didn't hear the pop. I don't have headphones on. That's not fair.
We pointed at you.
Wow.
I was distracted.
We gave you the visual cue.
ADHD put a rose parade in front of me.
I know, right? Well, welcome to another episode of Fun with HR. You know, one of the things that we wanted to do this go around that we are not going to do very often is we're not going to have multiple people in. We're not even going to have a script. We're just going to reminisce and talk about exactly what we're really proud of that we've accomplished in 2021, what we're looking for in 2022, and really anything in between.
Well, it is a new year, so, you know.
Yeah, but there's no new year, new me. It's more like, let's continue the forward momentum.
Yes, I know. We had that big discussion about that coming into the studio today. And, you know, people always say, it's a new year, new beginnings. But no, you're right. You need to build upon what you started the previous year because it's never truly a new beginning.
No, not at all. It's a great opportunity for maybe new habits, like I hate saying this, but like maybe, you know, eating better or more exercise. But really, why wait till January? Do it when you feel like starting, which could be June for all I know.
Well, people need that crutch that, okay, it's New Year's, I'm going to start this now, rather than just make a gradual change. And I think that's where most people go wrong with, I'm going to get in shape, or I'm going to change my diet. And they just go from McDonald's every day to quinoa and vegan. And you just can't do that. It's a process.
No.
Didn't you guys wake up this morning, though, and, like, as you're driving over here, the sky is just a little bit bluer, and, like, the music's just a little bit more, like, poppy, and it just feels like, woo, like it's not pouring down rain.
Well, it's funny you should talk about music because Jeff has discovered that if I'm in the car and the radio is on, I will sing to anything and everything at the top of my lungs.
But are you singing a little bit louder today? Because it's 2022.
No, I wasn't singing louder. I just added dance moves.
Yeah, see? Like, it's just, I agree with you. It's just the small changes. We can't make big change, but I don't think we should undermine the energy of a new year.
Oh, no, I agree. It's that's why I said the forward momentum, because that way, whatever you're feeling, whether it's today's the day to start something, today's the day to continue, or today's the day to maybe stop doing something, hey, today is just the day.
Mm-hmm.
And that should absolutely be, I think, key to everything. Hey, did you know that Fun with HR is actually listened to internationally?
Wow, fancy.
I know, right? So, you know, Jeff puts up the show not only on our webpage, on the Fun with HR's
Facebook
page.
We have a YouTube channel.
Yes. And I've been getting a little bit of feedback from international people.
Wow.
Yeah, people saying that they love the business advice, the people that come on the air. They wish that they could really reach out to them and use their services. And that makes me really proud of what we started in 2021.
Yeah, that was actually quite a shock to hear that you were getting those emails.
They're probably like, I feel so bad for myself. Business is so hard. I have problem employees. Let me listen in to Fun with HR so that I can feel better that I'm not in California.
Yeah,
that was like
I know.
nail right on the head.
Let me just feel. But I gotta say, you know, it's absolutely wonderful here. I don't think there's anywhere better to be. I'm just saying the labor laws. It's a little different in other places.
But I love that they've totally embraced the people that we've had on the show.
Oh, for sure.
Like I was told they love hearing about the garage doors. They love hearing about the chocolate, about the chamber. I mean, these are people that, had we not had them on the show, would not be known internationally as well. So that makes me very proud.
I'm proud of you guys.
Oh, thanks.
For bringing a little bit of the Ventura magic to the world. That's awesome.
Well, that's kind of how we look at it.
We're going to have Ashley on more.
Yeah, and give her more than visual cues.
Yeah, right? I'm like, you put a tablet in front. I don't even watch TV. And now we have like the Rose Parade right here. And they expect me to look at anything else than like the shiny picture. Just changing magically in front of me.
I know.
I think magic's my theme today. I think I've said that word like 50 times. I don't even know where it came from.
Wow. Well, it's okay because I think that's really what the first of the year does for everyone. It's a little bit of magic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and speaking of the Rose Parade, I have to tell you, I have been just glued to the TV for the last couple of days. Channel 5 has given us a back story of a lot of these floats. And I have to tell you, I'm so looking forward to just seeing some of these just because of the stories that I now know inspired them. It's always a favorite, the Donate for Life. Obviously, that's one of my favorite floats. The Rotary float is always a favorite as well. The Cal Poly Pomona one, I was told at least that we should really keep an eye out on that one because they changed it last minute because of
Was it for Betty?
no football person. Come on.
Oh, John Madden.
There you go. He's an alum. So they
That's
changed it
right.
at the last minute just so that they could pay tribute to him. And I think, you know what? If anybody could do it, it's those Cal Poly Pomona kids because let's face it, they are amazing when it comes to that engineering.
Yeah, but the Rose Parade kind of took the fun out of a lot of their floats, though, because they cannot spray the audience with water any longer.
And that's a bad thing.
No.
That's a good thing.
It is a bad thing that they stopped that. I mean, that's what made Cal Poly so fun to watch because you never knew what they were going to do to the crowd.
Well, they have bubbles. I heard there's one specific float in there that has over 4,000 bubbles that are being pumped out into the air per minute. That's, I believe, the city of Torrance. I'm sorry, no, not the city of Torrance. It's city of Downey. And city of Downey has one of the few floats that were designed by a child that is part of their community. So that seems to be a big theme. You know, let's give the kids the opportunity to change the world, and there's no other way to start than give them pen and paper. Let them read, let them write, let them do whatever it is that they need to.
Bubbles are super fun. I'm all about it.
I love
I think
bubbles.
that's awesome. I think that's a really cool flow, and what a cool experience to be out there and see all those bubbles coming up. My friend actually is going to be featured on the Donate for Life float.
Tell me.
So my best friend Maricela and
I know.
her
Wait,
friend,
wait,
her cousin Melissa.
Yeah.
This is a really cool story. So my really good friend Melissa, her dad
been
had kidney
downgraded now.
failure, and his name was Mitch Barrios. He passed away a few years ago, and before. Like 5 years, I want to say several years before he passed away, my best friend's mom donated her kidney to her brother. And so they'll both be featured. That's Maricela Barrios, the older one. She donated her kidney. And so my friend Melissa, the daughter of Mitch, she put both of their names on the float this year. So it's really cool.
Cool. Well, I
Yeah.
can't wait to see that. And I'll kind of, because of the amazing story, I'm going to overlook the BFF thing.
Best
saying.
friend, BFF, two
Okay.
separate titles.
All right,
I don't think
I'm
so.
taking then applications for a new best friend, not a BFF, but a new best friend. Just
Yeah.
letting everyone know.
She's put up with me since I was like 12.
That is a long
That's a
time.
long time. It's a
Huge.
very long time.
So one of the things that I have to say I'm looking forward to is all of the animation because this is the year that we're going to have a lot of animation on the floats. And I know this is not exactly what people tune in to hear, but don't you just want to like feature some of these things? Because unless you sit down and listen to all of the stuff, you're not going to get the backstory. And please keep in mind, we're not telling you what flowers are on there because really doesn't matter. It's flowers. But we're telling you all about the backstory, which is what's important and why they decided to take this theme. Does anyone know the theme for this year?
Dream, believe, achieve.
I like it.
Right. And do you know who the Grand Marshal is?
LeVar Burton.
Yes. Yes. And did you know that his mom was a
And
teacher?
wait, do you know who drove the Rose Parade pace car today?
No. Tell me.
Bill Gomez. Ask me who Bill Gomez
Who is Bill Gomez?
Bill Gomez is a State Farm agent in Moore Park. So a local Ventura County person is driving the pace car for the Tournament of Roses today.
That's so cool. Why does he get to drive?
He's actually, what I found out is Bill is a longtime Tournament of Roses volunteer. So he got selected this year to drive the car.
That's
leads
awesome.
The parade.
Yeah, I believe that everything that goes on with the Rose Parade is mostly done by volunteers. You remember a few years back when you helped, the Rotary float. It was...
Yeah, one thing that people don't know, and I think Lions is the same, but none of the money that members pay as far as dues to the international go towards the float. The Rotary float, and as I said, I believe the Lions is the same, is funded by individual members and clubs. So every year, clubs make donations to the Rose Parade Float Committee to raise the money to build these floats. So if you're thinking, oh, I'm not going to donate money to Rotary or Lions because they spend money on Rose Parade floats, no. All the money that you donate to Rotary goes to the projects, and it's the members and the clubs that are funding these floats.
Rotarians are really good at that. When
They are.
somebody steps up and says, hey, I need money for this, or we pass around a sheet, Jeff and I are in the same Rotary Club. It's amazing how much money you can raise in a single meeting for a particular cause.
Yeah.
So
well, the Rotary float
doesn't
is going
surprise
to
me.
have the international president on there. And he was also saying this morning that it took him over 24 hours to get to Pasadena because he had a bit of a travel snafu. He had a layover in New Delhi that basically he couldn't get out of there in time.
Well, he had a flight canceled,
Yes.
which stranded him there.
And he said after everything that he's seen and everything that he's done so far, as soon as he saw the float and saw what everybody was doing, it was completely worth it to him to have taken that trek. What I loved about the segment, though, was Wade Nomura, who is, after all, our local Rotarian. And what is Wade's specific title, Jeff?
He has so many titles. He's, I can't remember exactly what he's doing right now.
Well, that's just like him, though, because specifically he said it's not about the international efforts, even though they had some amazing things, such as almost eradicating polio. It's about the locals. It's about making sure that if you are inspired by today to start something new, to volunteer, to do something within your community, look no further than Rotary, Lions, Kiwanis. Just get involved. And isn't that, after all, what we do here? We feature local?
Yes,
do.
we do.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Going back to the theme for today's parade, Dream, Believe, Achieve, we have a really good friend that his tagline is very similar to the Rose Parade theme. That's Pat Pothier.
Mm-hmm.
Where he says, if you could think it, you could dream it, and you could achieve it, which is very similar to that. And he's very proud that his tagline is kind of represented here in the parade today.
It's a great way to start.
It is.
So what you may be seeing on Channel 5 is one of the floats that I wanted to see. And it was featuring elephants and tigers and everything that you could imagine seeing in the Serengeti. But this is what always blows my mind. How in the world do they ever come up not only with the theme, but then say, that palm tree would make a great beard for blah, 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 blah. I mean, that's what really, like, the creativity alone.
I also worked on a float one year, and it is not super fun. Was that your experience, Jeff?
It was very tedious.
It's
hardworking.
It's hardworking, and they're like, here's 18 billion seeds, and like you're going to put them on like this thing and make grass. And so it's really interesting. I think you can have a different appreciation for these floats when you realize like just how big
much
they
work.
are and the details. You don't really see the details on TV, but when you're up close, it's like, oh my gosh, it's so much work. And every flower that you see on a float is made of like 14 million flowers in real
Exactly.
life and like petals that are like individually glued. I would love to go in person one day to the Rose Parade. I think that would be a really cool experience.
No,
Oh
you
my
don't.
goodness.
Watch
Well,
it
just
on
to see the
TV.
floats. Yeah.
So
I don't
my
want to watch it on
parents-
TV.
No. If you want to see the floats, go to the thing they have in Pasadena for 2 days after the parade, where you could walk and see the floats.
They're not
I mean,
moving,
they're
so
not
you don't
moving,
see the
but-
animation, but you get to see exactly what you're
But
talking
you
about.
can see them, yeah. But yeah, another day I went to work on the rotary float. I got to sit there for about 3 hours, and it was like a straw flower, a purple like straw flower, and cut the purple off because that's all they wanted off the flower.
He sounds traumatized, doesn't he?
I am. Anytime I see those flowers now, I just go into flashbacks. Oh my God!
Well-
One thing that's so cool though is that they use the stem somewhere.
Yeah.
So there's no waste.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that could potentially be debated because the float in general, right? But they don't like throw away all of the stems when they cut off that purple piece of flower. They find another use for the stem on the float.
Spice grinders, you can't believe how popular spice grinders are there too, because they have these recipes. You put this much of this and this much of that, and you grind it up, and you get this color and this texture, and it's just
That's the float right now. Do you see the bubbles? The one that's
Oh, yeah.
It's for I can't see who. See, the very front is supposed to be going into space. The middle is all about the tigers, and then the back of it is supposed to be about underwater, kind of like letting the kids' imagination flow as they open a book. So this is just all like resonating with me, because if you know me, you know I love books. I love the fact that I could have just as much fun reading a book as most kids would have playing a video game. But mine is basically better because I don't need electricity or anybody else telling me what it's going to be. I could change the color of somebody's dress just like that with my imagination.
Do you have a book goal for 2022?
Oh, that's a good one.
I do.
Tell me about it.
I'm going to read 36 books in 2022.
Holy
I'll
cow.
probably read more than that. I've been starting to track my reading on an app called Goodreads. And I actually checked it out this morning, and I think it crashed because I'm not the only person who's trying to track books today. But I've been doing it for the past few months, and it's just really cool. You can see like what your friends are reading on Goodreads, and you can mark books like read or want to read, and then they all go into like different columns. And so I've always been a really avid reader, but I'm really excited to track my books on Goodreads.
So I used to be more of a reader. The only thing, of course, you know, every life takes over. Now there's 2 businesses and a radio show and everything under the sun for me to do. But I used to go into Barnes and Noble, and I used to rearrange the books in alphabetical order because they somehow don't understand why the alphabet is there. And I would walk out with at least 10 to 15 books. I paid for them. Don't think I walked out with them. But definitely, that would be something new for 2022 for me to go back to reading.
So we're going to have our commercial break right now. Fun with HR is brought to you by the HR firm. If you think, it's a new year, I can't remember the tagline.
If you
If you have employees, you have issues. We'll be right back.
The HR firm is the premier human resource consulting firm in Ventura County, specializing in working with small to mid-sized companies. The HR firm provides a complete suite of offerings to keep your company compliant. The world has changed so much in this last year, and so have all the rules for you as the employee. Are you ready? From handbooks to policies and procedures to workers' compensation claim management, the HR firm is here to support you with all of your HR needs. They offer a complimentary 1-hour consultation for you as a new client. Check them out on Facebook or Instagram, or email them at info@thehrfirm.com. The HR firm. If you have employees, you have issues.
This is Bob Davis, Ventura County resident for over 50 years. Loan Depot and I have teamed up to provide fax and mortgage lending experience that gives you satisfaction that you want to share with people you love. 805-658-7435. That's 805-658-7435. Real, honest, and fair mortgage lending. NMLS 249185.
Hey employers, are you tired of spending your valuable time posting jobs on the job boards? Are you tired of looking through resumes to find that one diamond in the rough? Your time is way too valuable, so let the professionals at Atharva Workforce find that diamond in the rough for you. Spend more time on your business and less time looking for those employees. Call Atharva Workforce at 805-826-0033.
And we're back to Fun with HR, and we're just kind of checking out some of the floats going by. And
Rise, Shine, and Read just went by, and it's the one with the rooster reading to the chickies.
And he's wearing glasses. It's really cute.
And the chicks
So he
are
looks
puffing
very
up and down.
studious,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, that's why I wear glasses. It's not that I'm blind. It's I want to look studious.
Haha.
Yeah, totally.
So, Ashley, tell me, do you have space for all these books that you're reading?
So I have started to give away books, and I have to shout out my friend Brienne. You guys met her through the chamber. She is awesome, and she started just like giving me books because we read a lot, and I was like, this is really nice. It's nice to be gifted a book that somebody's like, you know, I read this and I thought of you and you should read it. And so I looked at all my books one day, and actually Carlos was about to build another bookshelf.
Ah, see?
And I was like, I don't need these. I don't need these books. I'm going to give them to people. And I went to one of those little book library things.
Mm-hmm.
They have them off the avenue, a few of them. And I like filled it up with all my books, and I started giving books away to friends. And now I don't need a new bookshelf. And I have room for a lot more books in my life.
See, I think of the books as my friends. And so I don't give them away.
Do you read them more than once?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't. I've never read a book more than once.
Never?
Never. Well, unless it was like required for school or something. But
Oh,
I can't
no.
recall ever reading a book more than once for fun. There's so many. Why would you want to read the same one twice?
Because
it was good.
it was good, but also depending on where you are with your life, you will see and may possibly get a different message in the book.
But you could also read a different book and get a different message.
Yeah, but at the same time, like I can tell you, Don Quixote for me has, I know, and it's long and people hate it, but it's transformed every time I read it, and it's because I've read it at a different time in my life.
How many times have you read it?
I've read it 4 times.
Okay.
I'm not that
That's
old.
doable. I mean, I did read, you know what? I did read To Kill a Mockingbird in high school, and then I read it again last year. That's
And?
one example. I didn't remember it from high school. I've probably read a lot of books more than once. I just didn't remember that I already read them once.
Huh.
But I generally will never pick up the same book twice.
Oh, I do. So the other thing that I do is I tend to not only read books in English, I tend to read them in Spanish, Italian. So it's different. Like if you've ever read Huckleberry Finn in Italian, it's kind of different because the translation is not exactly, the message isn't exactly the same thing.
That's really interesting.
That's what Amazon Prime Books is for too, to get the ebook. Then you don't have to have a book to put on a shelf somewhere.
I like the smell of books. There, I've said it. Just like Don't Kill Me, I love the smell of a new Barbie doll. New Barbie doll, you open that box, and I just heard a lot of people just go, because you're not supposed to open them anymore because they're collectibles.
Wait.
Toys.
When was the last time you opened a box with a Barbie doll in it?
Well, for my sister. So technically speaking, she has a 3-year-old, so I shipped her Barbie doll.
And you opened it before you shipped it?
I had to, because I had to take all the little parts out and put them into a separate bag so that my sister would not have to worry about, her daughter putting them in her mouth.
So now you're making excuses for opening the Barbie doll before you shipped it.
Yeah, whatever. It worked for me. I was a safe auntie.
Oh, got it. That's
Hey,
funny.
it was better than being no auntie. Her oldest, every time he got on the phone or we Skyped or Zoomed or did anything, he would say, oh, it's my auntie no. And I finally realized that it was because I was the only one saying no to him.
Oh.
So it was no, Jaden. And I would put my finger out, no, Jaden. I wouldn't say like, stop it or anything. I'd be like, no. And then I'd explained it. So for him, I'm auntie no.
Aww.
So I didn't want to be auntie no for everyone.
So you started spoiling the other one so you'd be auntie yes.
No, not really. I'm still auntie no.
Oh.
Well, somebody has to say no to him.
Somebody does. It shouldn't be the aunt though.
Well, you know what though? My job as an aunt is to make sure that those little beings are not only spoiled, but that they are absolutely aware that, they're going to be little adults and therefore it's not going to be easy out there in the world. Enjoy it now, kids.
I wonder what my nieces would say about me. I should ask them. They think I'm nice. They think I'm cool.
I've met your nieces.
They're crazy girls.
They are.
I love them, but they're crazy, crazy girls.
But you
So
know
fun.
what? It
So
might as well
fun.
be crazy at that age.
Yeah. I see so much of myself in the older one. Like, she's going to be a headache for her parents in a few years. It's kind of
Speaking
to
from
see.
experience. here,
Yeah, no, for sure. She's awesome. She's super independent and social and hard-headed and fun.
So the other thing I love about parades are the bands. Anybody here like band music?
I was a band geek.
Were you?
Yeah,
What did you play?
everything.
Like, what was your favorite?
I don't know. I really didn't have a favorite.
You didn't have a
Just
favorite?
whatever I felt like
What
playing
was like
that
one
day.
instrument that you played the most? Pick one. We want to hear about it.
Clarinet.
Okay, cool. Can you still play?
Oh no.
Do you have any instruments still?
It's
Yes, he has
you,
a piano.
how do I phrase this?
You forget books, he forgot music.
No, I didn't forget music. It's in terms of time.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't played an instrument longer than you've been on this earth.
Okay.
Let's put it that way.
That's not long.
But you have a piano.
I have a piano.
Do you play it?
No.
No.
Why? I think it might just come right back to you, like riding a bike.
And speaking of bikes, there's a bus on TV right now.
What does it have to do with bikes?
What does that have to
It's
do with the
mobility.
bike?
Work with me, people. I'm helping you, Jeff. You look uncomfortable, so I'm helping you.
I'm being interrogated.
I know.
Continue.
No, I think that we should make it a goal to have Jeff, a New Year's resolution to have Jeff open up the piano.
Oh,
And
no,
try.
It's been open.
Try.
So the city of Alhambra, you guys got to work with me here.
School of Rock.
Right.
Oh, actually, it's School Rocks.
School rocks, yes. So one of the things I really have never quite understood is how in the world are these horses that are in between bands and the floats so calm? Because there's all these noises that I would think would scare them, and yet they just ride like there's nobody there.
Those are marine horses.
Absolutely, marine horses.
I think they try to put the horses away from the bands. Generally, the floats are not that noisy.
Well, no, but when they have those explosions and things being thrown at people, that could scare a horse.
Yeah, it could.
They're not poodles. Poodles could, they're great hunting dogs.
But like Ashley said, in this case, those are marine horses.
Yeah, those are.
They're just
they
not
know
horses.
how to toe the line.
Yeah, they don't mess around. They are not scared of anything. They're tough horses.
Tough horses. So there's also one of the things that I wanted to ask, because we're kind of like at the halfway point of the show. Ashley, anything you're proud of that you accomplished in 2021?
So 2021 was another interesting year, kind of pulling through COVID. I know we've talked about on the show my job as membership development manager with the Ventura Chamber of Commerce. And the business community has just pulled through and been so resilient through COVID. And I'm proud of them and just inspired by them. Personally, I think COVID in general allowed me to be home a lot more and just around my son and my boyfriend, and just focus more on family and on self-care. And so I'm proud that I've been able to kind of come to this more balanced place in my life and maintain that even as we began to reopen.
Nice.
So that's what I want to say about 2021. I'm looking forward to 2022 being,
A little bit more
better,
of the
more
same,
of the same, but better. I want to see an endemic. We're going to come to the end. I was reading about what endemic means. I don't think we have time to talk about it on the radio,
Nope.
but it's coming, and I hope it's coming.
Well, we'll talk about that at another time.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
That's awesome. How about you, Jeff?
I think 2021, the highlight for that for last year is the birth of our new company, Atharva Workforce. Who would have thought in the middle of a pandemic we'd be crazy enough to try to start a new company? But where you've taken it from when we first started talking about it, beginning of June, to the end of this year, it's just phenomenal, the growth that we saw, and I'm very proud of your efforts and Trisha's efforts to make this company become viable in less than a year, easily less than a year.
Thank you. Thank you. I was going to say what I'm most proud of is not only Atharva Workforce and the HR firm reaching its 10th year. That was a huge milestone. But I'm also so proud that we finally launched Fun with HR. I mean, we've been talking about it for a few years, and it just seemed like the opportunity came. And I know I was very hesitant. I don't know if I want to do this every day.
Oh, yeah, she came kicking and screaming into this project.
Yeah, I did. I did. More than anything because I didn't want to let the community down. I didn't want to be one of those radio shows that were just so dry and people didn't want to listen to. And everything we've heard is people like it. And it's because I'm not focusing on us. We're focusing on our community. We're focusing on what we love. And I'm really proud of that. I'm proud that we were able to help people get new business, even if it's just one more client. That's one more client that, yes, they would have gotten, but it would have taken more time. I'm really proud of the fact that we're able to really take this to the next level. I mean, when you and I first started talking about Fun with HR, we thought, oh, we'll just do it, on YouTube, no big deal. And now, we're even talking about doing YouTube, but now it needs to be in the Spanish format for our, Spanish audience. So
Yeah.
it's fun.
And you kind of touched on it, but towards the end of the year, we've been talking with some of the previous guests of the show, and it made me really happy to hear that some of our guests have gotten clients as a result of them being on this show. Somebody heard them talking and said, I need that service, and they called and they got a job out of it. So that's really just fantastic.
Right.
That's incredibly inspiring. Like, think about it. The past 2 years have been complete crisis. We've not known what's next. Rosandra's going to stop me because she sees a float. Well, as I'm about to feed them a compliment.
No,
go ahead, Rosandra.
Go ahead.
No, just kidding. It's so amazing to me that you guys were able to start 2 new things in the last year while so many people, myself included, are just kind of like frozen in time and in space. So congratulations, you guys. I think that's huge. And I think when you look back on this pandemic, hopefully in the next short future, we're going to be able to look backwards and say, wow, that was crazy. You guys are going to be able to say, wow, that was crazy. And look at all we accomplished. And that is so, it's just crazy. And that's the story of the resilience behind the business community in Ventura. You guys are a great example of that.
And, we've heard a lot of companies that basically redid themselves during the pandemic. I mean, Ventura Spirits, they went from making, distilled spirits to hand sanitizer at a time when that was really needed because you couldn't find it anywhere. And I know a lot of other people and companies that retooled their business and started doing something else to help out.
I mean, I know we haven't had any time off simply because we're considered to be essential workers. So in essence, we were not only helping, shut down businesses when it was needed, but we also were helping open that back up, I should say, and making sure that their safety is their number one priority. And even last night, I know it was New Year's Eve, but we were still getting calls, help, there's been an exposure, what do we do? Or, hey, I was just told that my employee has COVID, what do we do? And this is what we do. We help our community And it doesn't matter what time of the day or what time of the year it is, we are here for you.
Can we talk about how you guys helped to make information accessible to the Spanish-speaking community through
Sure.
COVID?
Let's talk about that after we come back from this quick break.
Awesome.
Fun with HR is brought to you by the professionals at Atharva Workforce. If you think hiring a professional is expensive, wait until you hire an amateur.
If you don't have an illness and injury prevention program, COVID prevention program, safety program, or emergency action plan, you could have Cal OSHA knocking on your door with a notice of violation and fines. If you need help creating these programs or help refreshing your existing program, contact the HR firm. They can walk you through the safety maze to get your company compliant while helping you keep your employees safe. They even do in-house training. They offer a complimentary 1-hour consultation for new clients. Check them out on Facebook or Instagram or email them at info@thehrfirm.com. The HR Firm. If you have employees, you have issues. Finding people to add to your team can be difficult when you don't know where to start. Do you even have a job description? Do you know how much you should be paying them? Do you even know where to find the right people for your team? Let the professionals at Atharva Workforce help you get started and find your next star employee. Spend time on your business, not searching for that new star employee. Call Atharva Workforce at 805-826-0033.
Mortgage, a crazy method to borrow money. Do you know Bob Davis? He's been in Ventura County since 1967, in the loan business since 1985. Loan Depot and Bob Davis teamed up to provide honest and fair mortgage lending for everyone. Call 805-658-7435. Loan Depot and Bob Davis. Real, honest, and fair mortgage lending. Call 805-658-7435. NMLS 249185.
Welcome back to Fun with HR. So, Ashley, you were asking Rosandra a question.
Yeah, I know that you guys put so much work into making sure that the initial information regarding COVID was accessible to our entire community, including the Spanish-speaking community. And that was something that I kind of saw from afar and tried to share and put out there as well. But you and Juliana from GR Bookkeeping just worked so hard on that project. And I think that's really cool. What was that like?
Well, let me tell you that it was really humbling because we worked with the Office of the Governor. So we were actually working specifically with the Governor's office to get this information out there. And they were very specific. We needed to do it in Spanish. They had plenty of people doing it for the English community, but not for the Spanish community. And so we took all of our guidelines. Not only did we translate it, we put on different seminars, all of which were free of charge. We made sure that the governor's office was able to record us so that they could put it on their website. And in essence, I mean, they really helped to make sure that that was the case. I have to tell you, it was humbling because I still think of myself as I'm just this little speck in this big world. And so to be asked to do this for California was not only very humbling, it was an honor and definitely one of the highlights of 2021.
It was so cool. It was really cool to see. I mean, I felt humbled. Like, look at the amazing work that like my friends are doing that has the impact on so many people in our very own community. And it was just unbelievable that the information would not have been accessible, like if you guys didn't make it accessible.
Right. I mean, it was accessible, not only websites. Like I said, they could have just called in. I mean, these seminars really reached a lot of people. And it just so happens that last week I had somebody that said, "Oh my God, I can't believe I know you." And I thought, oh God, now what? What do I do now? And so they were telling me that they had a training session and that specifically the seminar that we had put on was used for this is how you give information to a community that is in need. And that I thought was so cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm so proud to know you and proud of you for that accompliment as
thank
well,
you.
because that is just incredible and how many lives were touched. I know that as the chamber, we went and we did a business walk in an area of the community that's primarily Spanish speaking. We had a translator. It was just incredible how many people didn't know about like the $5,000 grants and, you know, just helping to get that information out. And we just walked a street. I mean, you guys got that information out large scale, and it is just, I don't know, makes me happy, makes me joyful inside. Some people can step up during crisis and make change and be there for others and be the helpers like you. And some people like just hide under a blanket and cry like me, you know? So
you've done a lot. Don't kid yourself. You've done a lot. It's actually one of the things that I think has set us all apart, because we don't think that we're really, you know, reaching out to very many people until we realize what the ripple effect is of our actions, which is why I said, don't think of 2022 as a new start. Continue what we were doing in 2021. Let's help each other grow. So one of the things that I have to say really has surprised me this year about going back to the Rose Parade is that in past years, the Queen had to decorate her own float. And they didn't do that this year, and it's been a few years since that has had to happen. But they made a big deal about it, and I thought, you know what? If I were the Queen and I had to wear a tiara all the time, I don't think decorating the float would be the one thing that I would want to wear my tiara for.
don't you think that the Queen gets to just do the fun part, though, like put the actual flowers on the day of? Or do you think she actually has to like separate out the seeds and cut the purple flowers off
I think she gets to put the very last flower in.
Yeah.
My job is done.
I hope so, because I, you know, as you know, I have a collection of tiaras, and those things are heavy. I mean, they're not exactly, you know, user friendly. There's a reason why we all don't have tiaras every day.
Wow.
I'm going to let that one go.
Oh my goodness.
Go ahead.
No, I'm letting that tiara statement just go.
We're putting it in 2021.
Releasing
let it go.
Throwing it backwards.
So, Ashley, what can we look forward to coming from the chamber this year?
So we have our major events on the calendar. We have the annual meeting and board installation coming up. I think it's Thursday the 19th. That's going to be at Poinsettia Pavilion.
I know we're going.
Yeah, we have our connection breakfast on the first Friday of every month. So that's set in stone. We have 2 business expos. We have Taste on the calendar, my favorite event in August. So hopefully we can
right in time for Rosandra Fest.
Yeah, right. We're going for Rosandra Fest.
Where's that going to be at?
It's going to be at the museum.
All right.
I love that event. It's so fun. It's crazy that we've missed it. The past 2 years, it's such a bummer. I'm so excited to bring all the chefs and restaurants and everyone together and just taste everyone's best of and have a great night with friends. So we, of course, are planning on a whole year full of in-person activities and just, you know, we're flexible as always and responsible as one can be, very dedicated to following all the county guidance and state guidance and all that fun stuff. But yeah, we're hopeful.
So how did chamber membership do during the past 2 years? Where are we at now?
You know what? We hung in there. So we are hovering at about 700 members. We had 750 before COVID hit, maybe a little over 750. A lot of people left the area. A lot of businesses closed, as you guys know. And there was also a big influx of new members, especially around June when we were able to reopen and start in-person events again. And membership's been going great since we've been back in person. So I feel extremely fortunate that we were able to hang on to the majority of our membership. When I look back at the records in like 2008, you see how the recession really impacted membership. And our members are just so dedicated to us. And it's really incredible. And to each other, to the community, to Ventura. It's awesome. I'm very grateful.
Yeah, I know the last couple of years, as far as networking goes, it's been pretty slow because you couldn't meet in person. But a whole slew of Zoom networking opportunities have popped up. And I have about 10 new business acquaintances that I've met through Zoom. that I do speak with on a fairly regular basis and do refer with. But even to this date, still, I haven't met them in person. So they're my Zoom friends. And eventually the time will come where we'll all get to be able to meet, and then they'll become real friends. But yeah, it's been an interesting time.
I think that balance too, like everyone was so eager to get off of Zoom, but we have to look at how efficient we can be when things are on Zoom and really come to a place where we're doing things because they make sense. And if a one-on-one meeting or I don't know, a 5-person meeting or whatever works well on Zoom, then maybe that's the way that it should be.
You're absolutely right with that, because that's one of the things that Rosandra and I have spoken about. Prior to COVID, we were a company where we went to see everybody, regardless of what the topic was. Mm-hmm. Then COVID came, and we couldn't see them, but we could meet with them on Zoom. And we found, we were talking that, this really does make us a lot more efficient to not go out there unless we absolutely have to go out. And, it's going to change our business model.
Oh, absolutely. And it's not because we don't want to see our clients, but rather our clients don't necessarily want to see us on site, because obviously that means they're exposing their employees to a whole new person and whole new things. And so, again, COVID has really had an impact on people's safety, on just the way people do business in general. I think how we treat each other. Because I know before I go on site to anywhere, I make sure that they understand I will be wearing a mask, that it's not because of them. It's, it's for my safety as much as theirs. I also tell them that we do have to follow COVID protocol, which means keeping 6 feet distance. And on top of that, I tell them we're going to be efficient with our time. So whereas before I was able to just kind of, sit there and talk to them, it's more of let's just get in, let's do what we need to. And, then we both can go on with our days. And it hasn't changed how friendly we are, but rather how efficient we are, most definitely.
Yeah, people are being so much more selective of how they spend their time. And I think it goes back to the fact that we were at home. A lot of us were at home for a year and a half. And so jumping back into days that are going from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. is just not what anybody wants to do. Like, people want to go to work, get their work done, maybe go to one event or have coffee with a friend and go home. And that's something that the chamber has tried to adapt to. And I think all businesses are going to have to adapt to. People are just not as open to anytime, all the time anymore. They're being much more selective of what they join and how they interact with the community.
I find the clients are also doing that with their clients, meaning like appointment only. Mm-hmm. And again, COVID protocol. I also see that a lot of people will say, how much of this can we do in person and how much can we do on our own, and then come together and check in with one another. So I agree with you. I know the people I spend time with are the people that I really cherish. Mm-hmm. People that if tomorrow the end of the world happened, I would have been okay in the sense that I have said and done everything I needed with those individuals. But at the same time, it makes it so that I still have that human connection.
Yeah.
I mean, mind you, I get to work, sorry, Ashley, with, Jeff all the time. And he'll say that I'm his best friend, and I feel like he should have put an application in to be my best friend. But part of it is also that we basically do everything together. Mm-hmm. Not that we're, joined at the hip, but definitely we tend to do a lot of things together. And a lot is also the misconception that we spend a lot of time together. We may be in the same office, but we could go through the whole day and not really speak because we're both taking care of clients. Yeah. So it's again time.
Yeah, that is a big misnomer. People think that we talk all the time, but I know there's mornings where I don't even say anything to you till it's like, hey, it's time for lunch.
Mm-hmm. It's about quality, not quantity. So as long as you're enjoying that lunch, right? And sometimes it's better to have 1 hour of great time.
Wait, we get an hour of lunch?
30 minutes. Yeah, an hour. Aren't you HR? Don't you know about the lunch breaks? I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
but I'm also
I know,
the owner of the business, so you know.
No, owners don't get anything. It's an HR law.
That's always been the law.
I know, it's the law. You get nothing.
You get nothing. No, of course you do. You get the satisfaction of knowing that you're helping.
You get to sign the paychecks.
Wait, I get paychecks
No,
now?
you get to sign other people's paychecks.
Ugh,
I always
that
loved
too.
that. That was my favorite part about being an employer. Not writing the paychecks, but signing
The
them. I was
signing.
always like, okay, this is good. I'm giving a piece of
mind.
I'm giving a peace of mind to people, right? Like
Yes.
I'm doing something productive. But no, I'm good not being an employer anymore.
Yeah, I bet.
Or an owner or a boss. I'll just be just a regular old human.
No, you're Gavin's mom. Speaking
Gavin's
of autism, Ought to Run, is that happening in 2022?
Ought to Run is happening on the last Sunday in April. I don't have a calendar from me. I think it's the 29th. Last Sunday in April, CSUCI. We're back in person. I'm so excited. Tickets are for sale at ought2run.org. My son's team is Gavin's team. So if you would like to join Gavin's team, you're more than welcome, or start your own team. Let's do it. I'm so excited. So excited for an in-person Ought to Run.
Let's go into competition against Ashley this year.
Good luck. No, I want you to. I want you to come into competition. Get those team members.
Huh.
If you
Wonder
guys
how
get
many we
more
could
team
steal
members
off of
than
Gavin's
Gavin's team, I'll donate $200 to your team.
I think she just dropped the gauntlet.
Oh.
$300. I'll up it. Go for it.
And we have this on air, on tape.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so if you want to be part of our team, please remember it's for a good cause.
$300. Go join. What
I
is
know
it?
Spence
The
is going to join our team. You
Fun
can't have
with
him.
HR team.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
I think we should. Every person that comes on our radio show, we'll make them sign up under ours, and there we got her just like that.
Go for
How
it.
much did you raise?
Last year, fundraising wise, I think I raised like $2,000.
Oh. Okay.
But no, we're talking number of people. I think Gavin's team had like, we usually have between like 25,
no, it's
35 people.
dollars, not number of people.
Oh, dollars? You guys aren't going to win on dollars. You can.
2,000?
Are we
Come on.
challenging dollars or are we
I think
challenging people? You guys
People?
decide.
I want people.
That's a lot of people.
Right, but that's the whole point. We need to go out there and make sure that people know
Okay.
that this is a great
On
event.
people. I got 50 I could get right off the bat.
We're going to have to go face to face for the Rotary Club. We're gonna
That's
have
not
to go.
counting Rotary.
Well, if they sign up for your team, it is.
I got
Good
I got
luck.
50 people right now I could get signed up.
All right.
Okay.
Ought2run.org. And then there will be a team made very soon that's called Fun with HR.
HR.
Good luck.
Because you only had 25, right?
Last year was virtual.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and we were part of her team.
Yeah. So you.
We had 4 people
you
under
lost
her
us
team.
right off the bat.
well, good luck. That's all I got to say. Fun with HR. Join their team. Good luck. I'm very competitive.
Does anybody want to see her come back and say, "You guys won"?
I'll say it if you guys win. Or I'll come back and be like, you guys lost.
She is competitive, but I've beaten her many a time. So
Yeah, I know. We've seen
Only
you.
once at
We've
Expo.
seen you destroy Juliana's booth.
And she's still saying that I didn't win, but you know, we all saw it.
Rosandra cheated.
No, I did not.
Just kidding. She
But
didn't cheat. This is an HR show.
That's
Shouldn't
exactly.
give you that reputation.
No.
She won fair and square, but it was an off day for me.
Sure. We'll go with that. We'll go with that when we beat you again. So it's okay.
Okay, so we're going for total number of people.
Total number of people.
Do they have to? Do they have to submit any money when they register?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's $35 right now to register, and the price bumps up January 15th to $40. I think it stays at $40 through April 28th or 29th, that last Sunday of the month. So there's plenty of time. I think Gavin's team right now only has like 5 people on it.
Well, you just lost 2.
Well, you guys
Well,
haven't
lost
signed up
4.
yet, so I haven't lost anyone. It's me and Gavin and Carlos and my mom.
Oh, your mom supports you
my
too?
mom and my grandma.
Yeah.
So
Well,
We haven't really gotten started yet, but we will. Especially
You
now that it's
will.
a competition.
Of
We're going to have like
course.
300 people because I can't lose.
Just imagine how awesome that ought to run is going to be.
So fun.
Oh, that's pretty.
All right.
Oh, that's late.
It is.
Well, we got a little bit of time.
Okay, so going back to the Rose Parade, I haven't really been watching much of it, so I don't know what we've missed, but all of a sudden Tennessee State University is on the screen.
You missed a rotary float.
What?
It was fantastic.
Darn.
Darn. Well, we also missed the Donate to Life float.
No, we saw that, but Ashley was talking.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. I'm telling you, one thing at a time.
I know,
I always
I
have
know.
to tell Carlos one thing at a time. I can't complete a task and talk. Apparently, nobody can. Have you guys heard that? Nobody can actually multitask. It's like
Yeah, I've
not
heard that.
actually possible.
Yeah, I've heard that, but I seem to manage just fine.
I think as I've gotten older, I agree with it more and more.
Ah.
Okay, so our hour is coming to an end.
Aw. That was quick.
It
Thank
was
you for
quick.
joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you
Pops.
for coming
Happy New
in
Year.
on January 1st, Ashley.
Thank you guys for
You
having
are
me.
you are a true friend, and we appreciate you. And we will rub it in when we beat you on auto run. So
It's okay.
yeah, we're gonna
Friendly competition.
We're gonna offer
Jack.
some really cool shirts. Anyway, see you all next week when we'll be back to our regular programming.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.